Before humans had words, danger had to be explained with silence. Imagine sitting beside a weak fire thousands of years ago. The night is cold, the forest is moving, and something large is standing just outside the light. You see it first. You want to warn the others, but there is no word for run, no word for hide, no word for danger. The most important thought in your mind is trapped inside your skull. That is one of the strangest mysteries in human history. At some point, our ancestors crossed an invisible line. They stopped only reacting to the world and started sharing what was inside their minds. A sound became more than noise. A gesture became more than movement. A warning became a shared idea. And when that happened, humans changed forever. Because language is not just talking. Language is how one brain reaches another. Today, words feel normal. We use them without thinking. We joke, we argue, we lie. We say I'm fine when we are clearly not fine. But every sentence you speak is doing something almost impossible. You can say fire, and another person imagines heat. You can say snake, and their body becomes alert. You can say tomorrow, and two minds travel into a future that does not exist yet. A word is just air, a tiny vibration, gone in a second. And somehow, that vibration can carry fear, memory, rules, love, warnings, and entire worlds. But scientists have a huge problem. Language leaves almost no fossils. A bone can survive, a stone tool can survive, a cave painting can survive. But the first sentence? Gone. The first warning? Gone. The first joke? Gone forever. No one can dig up the first word. So researchers study language like a mystery with missing evidence. They look at throat bones, ancient skulls, DNA, stone tools, cave art, babies learning to speak, and animals that still communicate today. Because humans were not the first creatures to send messages.
Birds warn each other. Dolphins use signature sounds. Chimpanzees gesture and call. Bees dance to show where food is. Nature is full of signals. But human language crossed a different line. Most animal signals are trapped in the moment. Food here, danger there, stay away, come closer. Human language escaped the moment. It could talk about yesterday, plan for winter, warn a child about a river they had never seen, describe someone who was already dead, create a rule, invent a spirit, or make an entire group believe in the same invisible thing. That is what made language different. It did not just help humans describe reality, it helped humans build reality together. But before words could become powerful, the body had to become ready. Speaking is not simple. To say even one word, your brain controls breath, tongue, lips, jaw, throat, and timing all at once. Your mouth is like a tiny biological instrument, and your brain plays it faster than you can notice. Humans also developed a vocal tract that allows a wide range of sounds. That helps speech become flexible. But this design came with a strange cost. Humans can choke. Our speech-friendly throat makes swallowing riskier. That sounds like bad engineering, until you realize what evolution accepted in return. Communication was so valuable that nature tolerated the risk. A dangerous throat for a more powerful voice. There is also a small bone in the throat called the hyoid. Most people never think about it, but it helps support muscles used in speaking and swallowing. A famous Neanderthal hyoid found in Kabara Cave looked surprisingly similar to ours. That does not prove Neanderthals spoke exactly like modern humans, but it suggests something important.
Then genetics gave another clue. A gene called FOXP2 became famous because it is connected to speech and language ability. But it is not a magic language gene. Language is far too complex for one gene. Still, FOXP2 matters. When it is damaged, people can struggle with speech movements, pronunciation, and grammar. And Neanderthals appear to have shared important versions of this gene with us, which means the roots of speech may be older than modern humans alone. Maybe language was not born suddenly. Maybe it had been growing in the human family for hundreds of thousands of years. But a throat and a gene are not enough. A sound becomes language only when another mind understands it. And that requires something deeper. You need to know that another person has thoughts. They know some things. They do not know others. They can be warned. They can be taught. They can be fooled. They can remember. So when one ancient human made a sound toward another, the miracle was not only the sound, it was the shared meaning. One mind sensed something invisible. Another mind received it. That is language. Maybe it began with hands, a finger pointing toward danger, a palm raised for stop, a gesture showing where the herd went. Even today, babies point before they speak, and adults still move their hands while talking, even when their words are enough. Maybe that is a clue. Maybe language began in the body before it fully entered the voice. Hands first, then sounds, then both together. Or maybe language grew around fire. Fire changed the night. It gathered people in one place. It made darkness less powerful. And it gave humans something extremely important: time. Time after hunting, time after walking, time after searching for food. Time to teach, time to remember, time to imitate, time to warn, time to turn danger into story. Around a fire, one person could speak and many could listen. That mattered, because as human groups became bigger, survival became more social. It was not enough to know where food was.
You needed to know people: who shares, who lies, who is brave, who is dangerous, who remembers the path to water, who cannot be trusted when food is low. This is where language becomes shockingly powerful. It may not have grown only from hunting, or only from danger. It may have grown from the problem of living with other humans. Because humans are not just bodies. Humans are relationships. And relationships are complicated. This is why some scientists think gossip mattered. Today, gossip sounds useless. But in an ancient tribe, gossip could be survival technology. If someone stole food, you needed to know. If someone betrayed the group, you needed to know. If someone found a safe path, everyone needed to know. Language turned private experience into group knowledge, and that may have been its greatest power. Before language, you could learn by watching, but watching has limits. You can watch someone make a tool. You can copy how they strike a stone. But how do they explain why one stone works better? How do they warn you about berries that killed someone last season? How do they tell you the river floods after heavy rain? Without language, every generation has to rediscover too much, and rediscovery can be deadly. Eat the wrong plant and you may not survive the lesson. Step into the wrong river, and the river only teaches you once. Language changed that. An elder could say, "Do not eat those berries." A hunter could say, "The herd moves west after the rains." A mother could say, "Stay close when the forest goes silent." Now one person's experience could become everyone's protection. A mistake could become a warning. A warning could become a story. A story could become tradition. And tradition could outlive the person who first learned it. That is when humans became dangerous in a completely new way. Not because we were stronger than other animals. We were not. Not because we were faster. We were not. But because we could store survival outside one brain, from mouth to ear, from elder to child, from campfire to campfire. Once knowledge could travel faster, culture began moving faster than biology. A better hunting plan could spread. A safer tool method could spread. A memory of drought could spread. A warning about danger could spread. And then came something even bigger. Language allowed humans to plan together, not just react together. A group could imagine a hunt before it happened. One person could say where to stand. Another could say when to move. Another could remember what failed last time. Separate brains became one system. That is why language may be the most powerful survival tool humans ever created. More powerful than a spear. More powerful than fire. A spear helps one hand. Fire protects one camp. But language connects many minds. And once minds were connected, everything else became possible. Complex tools, long-distance trade, burials with meaning, cave paintings, songs, rules, myths, eventually writing, cities, science, and the world we live in now. Maybe there was no single first word. Maybe language did not arrive like lightning. Maybe it grew slowly from gestures to sounds to names to warnings to stories. But at some point, somewhere in ancient Africa, one human needed another human to understand. Maybe it was a warning in the dark. Maybe it was a mother calling a child. Maybe it was a hunter pointing toward danger. Maybe it was a name spoken for the first time. We may never know, but we know what changed after that. Humans were no longer trapped alone inside their minds. Fear could be shared. Memory could be shared. Hope could be shared. The future could be imagined together. The first word was not just a sound. It was the moment one mind reached another, and humanity stopped being alone. If this story made you wonder, subscribe to The Curious Human. Like the video for more hidden human stories, and comment below, what mystery should we explore next?